Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 163?
The big 163.
I'm one of your hosts, Adam Facey, and I'm joined here today by two of my other fabulous hosts, Aaron on the computer playing Battlefield 4, and Andrew, who's on the couch here with me drinking a 1664 Blanc.
I resent the fact that you called me your host.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So, double tap W is sprint?
I mean, no, I'm not even going to make a joke there.
Do other games do that?
Please do.
No.
I set you up.
Come on, do jokes.
What are we, so where are we? And why are we a Marine without any ammunition?
In Azerbaijan, I guess? I don't know.
How do you know that?
Because that building is in Azerbaijan. Anyway. Double tap W is,
There must be an F1 course there.
there is, yeah.
So why are we playing Battlefield 4, one of the worst campaigns I've ever played in my life? Why are you making me sit through this again?
Oh, dirty eyeballs the game.
Why do you hate this?
Because the fucking campaign makes no sense. I can't remember it now, but it didn't make any fucking sense at the time. Because I just think the one part that sticks in my mind as being like the critical mass of ass was you're on a dam.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, we need to blow up the dam. And you're like, okay, so we've set the charges in this dam, okay, and we're standing on the outside of the dam, and he's like, I'm gonna blow it. And I'm like, can we wait till we get off first? Nah, I'm gonna blow it now. And then he blows the dam, and then we're running away from the water, and I'm like, oh, there's a way out of here clearly right up there. All we gotta do is walk up that, and they're like, nah, we're just gonna stand here and take it like the men we are.
If I remember, you blow it because you're surrounded by enemies. Like
yeah, but I was killing them anyway.
You're being pinned down.
No, I wasn't. I was able to move back and forth as much as I wanted.
But narratively, you were being pinned down.
Well, then don't.
And he's like, blow the dam.
You know what would have fixed that if they were like, oh man, there's an enemy chopper coming in. Now we gotta blow it. I mean, like, you know what? Fair enough. I can't take one of those down with the weapons that you've given me.
Now I have a scar, okay. What do you start with a brand, but then 2 seconds into the game they give you a scar?
I don't know,
I guess they just want to, stick it to Bren.
Look at this sexy brand.
Well, I can't, because even though I had it, it's not in this crate.
The game is gorgeous.
That's the one thing I'll give this game is that it looks good.
I like this menu. This is cool.
But why are we, why are we playing it?
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I like that the game lets you pick shit. I was gonna say...
I'll have none of your shit
like Battlefront,
today.
but it's the exact same game, so...
Right.
No segues this episode at all. We're going straight from topic to topic, and we're not talking about anything in between.
Can you mod these guns, Andrew? I haven't played this before, by the way, everybody.
Maybe. Maybe you can't mod them so much as just pick up a gun with other mods on it.
Oh, okay.
I think...
You shoot through walls?
I think Toto's Africa is a pretty underrated song.
Is it underrated? Because everybody loves it.
Nobody talks about it anymore.
It's brought up
It's definitely underrated.
Yes. It might be more popular now than it was when it came out.
Oh. Well, it was definitely not as popular as it should have been when it came out, because it was a great song. I need to put it on my iPod. I touched the reins down in Africa.
I touched the reins?
Yeah.
First up,
Didn't know about that bit.
Some sad news. And we're not being sarcastic here, because we're usually really, assholes. But John Bain, a.k.a. Total Biscuit, has passed away at the age of 33.
Yeah, he had, was it skin cancer he had?
Well, he came out in 2015 announcing he had colon cancer.
Oh, is
that what it was?
Yeah, he's been fighting that for years.
I already had something in his stomach and something small in his lung. And that was
spread.
A number of months ago. Okay,
it spread.
Yeah, the thing that I watched, I recall him mentioning something about cancer of the blood or something like that. Which sounds like a real sweet thing to have.
I'm not his biggest fan. No, there's nothing wrong with him. I just never really got into his channel like I did with others. But the content that I did watch of his, I did enjoy. He kind of like a Jim Sterling kind of person, where like I could even if his opinion was different than mine, which it was in many cases, I could at least respect why it was different. Like he always had well-reasoned arguments.
He came out pretty hard against the corruption in journalism.
Yeah,
and I'll always respect him for that.
Yeah, in the games media.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, he was making content right up until the very end.
Yeah,
like he had a video come out hours before passing. So it's it's sad. It's sad that he went. I was, you know,
And
I
a lot
was
of people
rooting
know
for him to you know, win the battle.
Yeah.
Because he came real close to winning the battle, you know, a few
Well-
years ago. In fact, he beat it, but it did come back.
Well, the XKCD, the guy in charge of that, Tom Mulrone? I can't remember his name, but his wife, you know, contracted some sort of cancer. I don't think it's ever been publicly said what kind, because he had to put his comic on hiatus for a couple of months while he dealt with that. And he made this little
You can't contract cancer, by the way.
whatever.
I know.
And he came out with this comic that kind of illustrate what happened, because people think that when you get cancer and you beat it, then that's it. But what it is it goes into remission, and then you have a certain. Anyway, he made this really big graphic that shows what it actually means when you go into remission. That is not actually going away. It's actually just
Lying dormant.
Yeah, and it was pretty powerful. And then the end of the comic was just, man, fuck cancer. And he's like, really though, and it kind of illustrated to me just how terrible a disease it is. So like, you know, I have sympathy for anybody who's, and anybody's family who's going through, you know, any kind of battle with cancer, because that's really hard to fight that sort of disease, because it's from what I've read from like other people's experiences. Luckily, nobody I've ever known has ever contracted cancer, but it's a lot of it drains, like, it's because it's over the course of months and years. It does drain you. So, you know, I have a lot of sympathies for Total Biscuit and the rest of his family, and his more adamant, or his fans.
Yeah.
That being said, I will say it's I gotta get out of here. When it comes to, you know, that kind of when it comes to that kind of thing, I respect people who work, like, not work, but like, because like, I don't know if I had cancer, if I would continue working right up to the end in my crappy job, but he clearly loved what he did, and I respect doing what you love right up until the very end. Like, and I don't know, because that's what happened to Terry Pratchett. He's taken a step back, but right up until the end, he was writing. So, but anyway, yeah, that sucks. It's sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to hear that. I didn't watch a lot of his content, but the stuff that I did see was interesting. And well done.
Yeah.
He was known, like, 'cause he was known through like a lot of YouTube communities knew him, like Angry Joe.
Oh yeah, he
like,
was probably the most famous games critic on YouTube.
Yeah. And like, because like, I think he was part of Polaris, where like with Dodger and Jesse Cox and all them. Yep. So he knows them, and then from
he hosted the co-optional podcast with them.
Oh yeah. Apparently Dodger had a kid.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yep. She had her or she had it.
She didn't dodge that one. Hey. Where'd that guy go?
God damn it.
We really can't say anything else about that.
No. But like, I think he knew a lot of people at like from I knew he knew Jim Sterling, and I think he knew Yahtzee Croshaw from Zero Punctuation. I don't know if he knew any of like the Rooster Teeth guys or anything like that. I'm sure they met. But I think he also knew a lot of like the Machinima guys as well, and like that kind of crowd. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm sure everyone talks to everyone else.
Yeah,
not us.
No, because we're stuck on an island. We have like 4 views collectively.
Yeah,
sucks. Speaking of a channel with low views, when are you getting another listener out, or another 36 lessons?
Maybe at some point.
Do you like that insult?
Huh?
Nothing. What's next?
Oh yeah. We saw Deadpool.
Oh man.
2.
Yep.
Last week. I kind of forgot.
So,
what did everyone think?
Yeah, I want to start with Aaron's thoughts first, because he saw Deadpool 1 only like a night before he saw Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
for
what
the
did
first
you think?
time. I thought the second one was funnier.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, okay, that breaks. Yeah, I thought more of the jokes landed in the second one than in the first. The first one had a lot of jokes, but I think some of them were kind of like, that's alright. It just wasn't funny. It just kind of like, that's a stinker there. But, yeah, I think, like, also because it wasn't an origin story, they could kind of just do whatever and go on an adventure. And I think that was fun. It felt a lot more like a traditional Marvel movie and like being an MCU film. In that way, obviously still with kind of the small, unimportant story, but it's kind of not the point. So, I enjoyed it. It was a good time. And it's good to see, like, R-rated, kind of, somewhat R-rated, lots of gore and...
That's my favorite line in the movie, that it's the highest grossing R-rated movie since Passion of the Christ, and beat out Passion of the Christ, and he was like, it's me and Jesus, baby.
Yeah, so I like that, you know, it's a nice change of pace rather than doing the same thing Marvel's been doing for 10 years. To kind of at least keep that kind of same flavor, but, you know, to turn it up to be more gory and shit.
There
was a pretty gory... sorry, you go first.
What did I think of the movie?
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I don't know if I liked it more. I liked aspects of this more than the first, but I liked other aspects of the first more than this.
So kind of on par for different
Pretty
reasons?
much on par, yeah.
Which is good. For
Yeah, that's about the same as me, I think, but I think I prefer the second one.
I like the story of the second one more, I think.
Yeah. Although, that being said, I think the second one had probably one of my favorite deaths I've ever seen in the movie. Where
are we gonna spoil it?
No, I won't spoil it. But a minor spoilers. I won't say who does it. But at some point, a character takes Deadpool and literally rips him in half. And just like absolutely rips him in half and
There's the Hulk, Deadpool, MCU confirmed. Ha, gotcha.
Well, I don't know, the thing I probably liked about the Deadpool movies the most is that they're very contained stories. So like, they introduce a character. It's kind of like Ant-Man, where it's only like these kind of minor characters. So like, they introduced Domino, and that's a big.
Domino was friggin' awesome in this.
She was one of the best characters.
Yeah,
it was her and Peter, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean Gary?
I was expecting...
No, his name was Peter, wasn't it?
I was expecting Domino to be like...
Oh,
here's another token character. But she was great.
Yeah, no, she was awesome.
Really good.
Yeah. There was a lot of really awesome deaths in that movie. Like, just the fucking... There's one part where Deadpool falls off of...
Okay, so I guess now we're spoiling it. Go ahead.
It's not a spoiler, but there's one point where he just falls, and the way he lands, it's like his spine breaks in like 8 places. And it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was funny.
And
how good is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool?
He's really good. Like that. Absolutely stay for the after credit scene, by the way, because there's a couple of good. There's a couple of good jabs.
The after credit scenes in this are
they're incredibly important as well, because they changed the movie
potentially.
I don't know if they're canon or not, but if they are canon, they changed the movie.
Yeah. I think at least one of them is canon, but maybe not any of the others.
It's probably the last one that's canon. I like how Ryan Reynolds is able to like make fun of himself though, like he's kind of like The Rock in that way, where he's a very self-aware actor and he knows what he's done and he knows what he's doing. So,
also, what is canon anymore
to the X-Men movies?
Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Like the X.
Like, does it exist anymore or not?
What?
Because it kind of exists in this Deadpool movie, at least in reference to the other X-Men movies.
Yeah,
but, like,
well,
does
Days
it
of Future
exist?
Past and the other ones exist apparently in this timeline.
Yeah, but is there a larger X-Men universe anymore, or is it going to be absorbed into Marvel?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like,
is it all going to be reset, and then Deadpool is going to be like, why are we doing this all again in the next movie?
Well, the thing about the X-Men
we already had
movies
Xavier.
is that, like the X-Men comics, the X-Men movies are like stupidly overly complex with reboot. As soon as you introduce time travel into any of these movies, it immediately like tanks the plot. Because, like, suddenly people don't know what's going on anymore. It's like, well, okay, so in, like, X-Men Days of Future Past, they went back in time and they prevented some stuff, and Mystique is a completely different character than she was in X-Men 1, 2, and 3, and are those movies still canon? I guess, but Patrick Stewart's was it, and then, you know, Wolverine happened, and he's dead, but then Xavier's still in the... And it's just like, where are we? What's going on in these fucking movies?
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of interesting to have Deadpool be a character that can just be in any timeline and it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it's like, MCU is canon, but everything that Deadpool sees is like maybe in his head.
Yeah.
So he shows up in an Avengers movie and you're like, you're not Xavier, or it's like, what the hell's going on? None of this makes any sense to me. You're not Beast. You're not Mystique.
That would be cool.
Did Disney put this out? Or was this done by Fox before like the deal goes
I think
through?
it was mostly done by Fox.
I know it was.
Under
I know it was like made by Fox.
Yeah.
But has the deal gone through yet with Disney?
I think so, because it was a Disney joke taken out of this movie. I think because of that.
The Thanos joke?
No, there was another one.
There.
It wasn't that one. It was Disney specific. I think it had something.
Like he called out Disney, the
Yeah.
company.
Oh.
So, and I don't know what that joke was, but
his producers told
Yeah,
him...
but they might have taken that out to be like, oh, we gotta make sure this deal goes through.
That's why it
yeah.
was taken out.
So it might not be
and that
like
could have been the
Disney
case,
being like swinging their dick around once again, being like, yeah, can you take this out? Or,
no, it wasn't
Please
Disney.
suck on my head.
It wasn't Disney. It was the producers.
oh, was it okay?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that the deal has gone through. But the deal is signed, but I don't know if it's taken into effect yet in terms of like their properties.
Okay, well
if that
let
makes
me
sense.
let me ask you this: do you think we'll see a Deadpool 3
Yes.
with a hard R under Disney?
Oh. I hope so.
So apparently James Magna Gold.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I know they announced it, but I
Do
don't
you
know if
think
that's
they'll
going
do
to
it?
change.
Because under Disney, I don't
feel
think
like
they will.
I'd like to think so. I mean,
I think we'll see a third movie. I don't think we'll see a hard R.
it depends on. Jesus Christ, Adam. It depends on whether or not they do a reset or anything with Deadpool. Because I feel like they could do a Deadpool 3 and it'd be a reset, but have everything in the movie almost be origin-like, but have Deadpool be aware that it's not the origin anymore and he already had 3 movies. Because X-Force is coming out as well.
What they could do very cleverly...
How are they making an X-Force movie?
I don't know, but they announced it. So.
Considering what happened in that movie.
Yeah, so
But no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
probably just... yeah.
What would be clever if they wanted to keep, like, Deadpool as it was, but they could have, like, some sort of referential joke where, like, they still have the same level of gore and violence, but it's all, like, heavily censored. Deadpool's like, what the beep? And he's like, who's beeping me?
That would be funny for one joke.
I suppose.
Yeah, well, it'd be
I
funny
would
if,
not
like,
want a movie like that.
if they... I mean, Disney wouldn't do it, but if they were so self-aware to have it be, like, the first 20 minutes be super PG and then just go hard R for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because to do a bait and switch.
That'd be funny.
I mean, yeah, the supervillain is a made-up... He's called the Censor.
Yeah.
And he censors all gore and violence and swearing and everything in the universe, and Deadpool has to kill him.
There's a... Oh my god.
After he dies, everything is R-rated.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Disney won't do that.
Do it up, Mr. Disney.
The one thing I noticed about this movie was that there was no Stan Lee cameo. At least not one that I could spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe there was one in like the background, but usually it's...
Yeah, I was thinking he was one of the
front
guys at the funeral near the beginning, but he isn't. That scene is in the trailer, and he's not in it.
I was at least hoping that he would be like at one point Stan Lee comes out of nowhere and Deadpool's like, not this time, Stan, and then keeps going.
Yeah. Well, he was in the trailer. Stan Lee was in the trailer
Was
for
he?
Deadpool too, like the announcement trailer.
Well,
oh,
maybe
yeah,
that's
yeah,
enough.
right. It was like the Logan announcement.
Yeah.
Did you know what Deadpool 2 did as an advertisement a week before the movie came out?
On the late night, the late show or whatever with
No.
Stephen Colbert.
I never heard that, but
Oh.
what they did is they sent copies of like slips out to Walmart and other stores, and when
Yes,
they
for the alternate covers.
yeah, for like movies, so like Logan's hand instead of Laura's hand reaching out to touch Logan's for the movie, the cover of Logan, it was Deadpool's baby hand.
Yeah.
And for Well, God, I can't. Like they were Forrest Gump.
There's a bunch.
There's like a ton, and people were going out and like stealing them just to have them.
Yeah,
they were pretty fucking great. But what did he do on the Tonight Show? I think you're supposed to run.
Wouldn't bullets fuck that up? Oh, okay.
Is it
At least you faced it.
Is it the Tonight Show
With Steve Colbert?
Yeah.
Oh, who cares?
I think it
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Is it the Late Show? Because what show did he replaced Letterman, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think it was the Late Show.
The Late Show?
I think so. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
So on the Late Show, he came out and like did a interview or whatever, and then the interview ended with him saying like,
It is the Late Show.
I don't feel good," and then he dissolved. He was like, "Thanos, come on!"
That's funny.
Yeah.
So so that was obviously a pre-recorded bit, was it? Yeah.
Oh wait, so he disappeared in the smoke?
He dissolved. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because in the latest Avengers movie, Thanos snaps his fingers and kills half the universe. What did you think of the movie?
Fucking die.
Adam, what did you think of the movie?
Sorry, I'm reading about how apparently Colbert made David Cross cry and walk off set.
Oh, good.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm kind of like it's on par with the first one. Funny enough, my parents went to see it in the same theater that we went to see it. They were a couple of rows down, and I could hear my mom laughing at different parts, and I wasn't expecting that because I'm like, this is not her movie. I don't know how comfortable she is going to be at this. And then afterwards, I mean, she's not a big film critic or anything, and although she has watched most of the Marvel movies just because, you know, just something to go out and do.
Your parents are nerds?
Kind of making them.
Nice throw.
It's almost like there's an invisible wall.
I don't think you can kill the helicopter.
She said, what this movie is if you were to take the genre of superhero movies, break it down, and then make fun of each of the component parts. I'm like, yeah, it's a deconstruction of the superhero genre, and I think that's true. That's what this movie is for the most part, is a deconstruction of the genre, and a pretty funny movie to boot. The fight scenes were okay in this one. I didn't think they had the same kind of pizzazz as they had in the in the first one. There just was something about this where they weren't as good. Although there was a fight near the end that was pretty fucking fantastic.
The whole end sequence was really well done.
Yeah. But up until that point, there wasn't really anything stand out. It was mostly story this time, as opposed to action that was really standing out.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of action in the first movie, so I don't know what one you watched.
No, but I mean, like, the few fight sequences that we got were, I thought, really good. Where in this one, they weren't quite as good, I thought. But I thought that the story and the jokes, like you're saying, Aaron, were better in this one. That's, is there something off there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know Azerbaijan is, like, the lowest city altitude, or what is actually below sea level, but it's not, shouldn't be like.
No, that's the edge of the Earth you're seeing there.
Okay.
Do you think they just built the land up and
this game, like... Dice is just a bunch of flat earthers,
oh, okay.
And you just saw the edge of it.
Right. Must have been hard for them to make Star Wars.
That's why people think the Earth is flat. I was like, well, why would it be flat? A company like EA wouldn't put out a game that had a flat Earth in it, would it?
Why doesn't the Apache shoot this one?
That's a good question.
The Apache's not around. It's down there.
I don't think... Is that an Apache?
You're gonna fight it anyway, Aaron. Just get in the goddamn helicopter.
Why is there an American chopper attacking you?
Don't worry about it.
If that isn't Apache.
Maybe it's, yeah, there you go. Maybe they commandeered it.
Oh man, this is like Civil War all over again, except I'm not Captain America.
You know, that would be a much better game.
Oh, dang it.
It's like that scene in Call of Duty World War II when the train is continually attacking that one guy.
It's just scripted,
when it's crashing, and there's just like an endless train that's coming at him. And he's not getting hit by all of it. And you're just like, wow, this is really awesome. And I wish I was playing something else.
Yeah, a decent campaign in Call of Duty World War II.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't played it, but I did see that train bit, and that train... Like,
the train bit goes on
threw me off. What?
I just remembered that fucking train bit too. Oh my god.
The train bit goes on too long. But in the context of that game, like through the whole level, if you play the level up to that point, it didn't feel as bad as it did when you just watched that scene on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just funny that, like, 20 seconds after the train crashes into something, there's still full train cars hurling end over end in the air.
Ling, ling, ling,
Like
ling.
the whole,
Jesus Christ.
I think it's because the whole explosion just feels so much better when you're actually like experiencing it. It really goes to show that context is an important thing.
Yeah,
when you're watching,
especially
a
in
video.
a game as well.
You can't just cherry pick a scene out of a video game and like, if the title is like, this is fucking stupid, you're gonna be like, yeah, it looks stupid. But if you're like playing the game and you're enjoying yourself and you see the huge explosion, the car flying into the whatever like 20 seconds after the train crashes starts making it doesn't make as little sense as it did when you first watched the video. That's what I'm saying.
But it's still
Context is important. Yes, it's silly, but it's also like a Michael Bay
I think you can get away with a lot.
scene.
I think you can get away with a lot more in a game than a movie as well. If that was a movie, it'd be dumb as shit.
Yes.
There's a reason why people don't like Michael Bay action shit anymore. Speaking of Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds, by the way, they're teamed up for a Netflix thing.
Yeah, I heard that. It's the highest budget film that Netflix has ever greenlighted.
Wow, that's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
Michael Bay. I don't understand why people budget Michael Bay with a massive budget at all.
He sells, man.
No, but the amount of fucking money that he makes off advertisement and from wanking off the military practically pays for the whole movie itself. So what does he need a budget for? Bud Light probably was shoveling money at him for Transformers 4. Remember when there's that being like, we need to stop Megatron with.
Jesus Christ, his leg was made out of like paper mache or something.
We're not sponsored.
By what? by super
the
loud
cool
water
taste
bottles?
of 1664 Blanc by Cronenberg.
we're back
in
to it
stores
as well.
now. That's what it was. That whole fucking scene was like. So I don't understand why he needs a budget. Why they need to give him money when he can just go out and whore himself out to advertising companies.
No.
I fucking hate Irish. He's a
I know what happens
character.
when we get in that.
Are you racist?
No, he's a terrible character. He'd be a terrible character if he was white.
Who?
Irish.
We're gonna call this episode "Is Adam Racist?"
It's fine.
In all caps.
It's fine.
Speaking of racists,
Oh man,
James Mangold is. Oh yeah, we're not doing segues. Never mind.
We're not doing
Why are we
segues.
doing segues?
We're not doing segues this episode because you complain about my segues every episode.
No, it's more I poke fun at them. I don't
No,
complain.
that's it. According to Adam, my segues are bad, and we're not going to do.
Oh,
them
I never said they
anymore.
weren't bad. They were awful, but I still found them enjoyable.
Do I have to get in the
the
car?
Tremors movies.
I know what happens
Tremors
when we
1
get
and
in the
2.
car.
We're not segueing into a discussion
Did you
about.
know that there's a Tremors 6?
Yeah, and I think didn't Kevin Bacon or someone say he's not doing it?
Yeah, well, they
Oh, now
want.
the
Hasn't he
steering
said that
wheel's
about
fine.
every Tremors that hasn't been the first one?
So it's supposed to be. It's supposed to
Fuck
take
that.
place in Nunavut, in the province of Nunavut. Don't you know? And So they were planning to film it in Bulgaria, but the day, the day that they were supposed to film in Bulgaria, which because apparently it was supposed to take a day, there was a massive blizzard. So they said fuck it, because all their film crew was down in South Africa. So they just filmed it in South Africa and put a white filter over the sand dunes to make it look like snow.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
movie magic. Aaron, obviously you have to go the way that you were pointed when you first started.
Yeah, no. I just don't want to crash in the water again. Oh, here we go.
James Mangold is directing and
Andrew,
writing.
Andrew,
Yes.
did you see the film 310 to Yuma?
I refuse to answer that.
Okay, Aaron, did you see the film 310 to Yuma?
Don't answer it, Aaron. It's a trick.
Just cause. Oh, okay.
Writing and directing the Boba Fett movie.
That's good. That's
Really
a good choice.
What else has he done?
310 to
Logan?
Yuma.
Logan, okay, that was
This is a
alright.
good movie. Have you not seen
It's a great
310
movie.
Yuma?
I love that movie. Logan and
Is that about
Wolverine.
a train?
Yes.
Cool.
A few others.
Jesus
I've
Christ.
slipped my mind right now. He's great
Oh.
and good choice for a Boba Fett movie.
So what I want,
I was kind of hoping that this guy would direct an Obi-Wan movie. Maybe if the why not give this guy a few movies to do instead of Ryan Johnson, who will just ruin everything like he ruins everything
Okay.
else.
So he did Logan, he did The Wolverine, he did Girl Interrupted, 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Identity, Copland, Night and Day. That last one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a couple there that are like maybe not amazing.
But there are others that were great.
And because it's Star Wars, it defaults to awful and then gets saved in the edit.
No, not really. I don't agree with that.
I want to see him do a Boba Fett movie in the style of like a Western. So like make it a very Western-esque story where Boba Fett's almost like this old grizzled bastard and he, you know, not necessarily one last ride kind of thing.
Either it's gonna take place
Well, his one last ride was getting beat up by a blind man and thrown into a hole.
Well, no, he survives that, Aaron.
well, not in the new canon.
Yes, he does.
Not yet. Necessarily.
Not yet. No, it hasn't been.
If this movie is either going to take place before Episode 6, or it's going to open with his like knot up hand coming out over the
Sarlacc,
the Sarlacc pit, and that's like it's a slow zoom down into Tatooine or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be like Deadpool and be like, let's get y'all caught up.
And then the hand, as soon as the title of the movie pops up, like Boba Fett, a Star Wars story, the hand comes.
And then it
I just
stands
want-
behind
over the-
Jabba for 2 hours.
I just want him to be. How's he not?
Those are
hitting
great
it?
rockets.
I just
Oh,
want.
okay, there we go.
go.
Oh, all right,
Oh,
there
he's
it is.
glitching out.
I really want the opening crawl to be like Star Wars, a Boba Fett story, and then just just like A repeated after itself, like for 8 paragraphs, because he's screaming in pain, being in the
It's a great
engine of this
aiming on that
fucking or the belly of this fucking beast.
Yeah.
I just like. So, what is the rest of the Sarlacc? If you took it out of the ground, what is it?
I think a big
No,
worm.
nobody really knows.
Oh, okay.
Actually, they did a cross section of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, I think we all
kind of
know
like
we
a big
should
kind
stay
of
here.
wormy thing.
Oh. Cheer up, Irish. Come on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna die in like
You were
2
in the
seconds.
wire. Come on.
Was he in the wire?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him going.
Ding 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 ding.
Another guy directing a movie. Not Star Wars. Oh, right on.
Oh, oh, that's Roxy.
Aaron, you
Hey.
want me to send you a picture of what it looks like?
Oh, it looks like. Oh, the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
No segue. I don't care if you've ever watched another one of his movies.
I probably haven't.
Danny Boyle is directing the next James Bond movie.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And is what's his name? Daniel Craig still gonna be in
Daniel
it?
Craig is coming back. It'll be coming out next year, apparently.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna be the last one.
That Craig does?
Probably.
I would say yes. Nice aim.
I'm pretty sure during the when the last one was doing like PR stuff, they he pretty much said that he would
never
do.
doing that again.
Did we die?
I'm
You
only
died,
gonna
yeah.
play Stormtroopers.
They said I'm gonna do 2 more, so that would have been Spectre and then 1 more.
Yeah.
And then that was then there was a whole bunch of him saying, I'm not doing another one, fuck that, I'm gonna kill myself first.
origin of all your pain, James.
But there we go, doing another one.
Spectre was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Spectre?
it.
Yeah, it was good.
I
I
wanna-
Not
should
as
rewatch
good
it,
as...
but
I
I
want
can't
I
really
want this
remember.
new movie to be called just Jaws and just be about him fighting Jaws. Except Jaws is the Rock and it takes all the chemistry away.
I hope they don't bring Jaws into this.
You don't like Jaws? What's wrong with you?
Jaws
it'd be
belongs
cool
in
if
the
they did it-
60s.
Do it in space. Do a space Bond movie again.
If they bring Jaws back, he's
That's-
gonna have like cybernetic teeth. And
That's
it's gonna be stupid.
That's not an Apache. That's the Russian thing, the crocodile.
Yeah, Aaron, don't you know your
not the
attack
crocodile.
helicopters?
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Fuck, what is it called?
It was a test, Adam. It's called the Dundee. You pleb. Anyway,
What?
I don't know. I don't know what
What
you're
are you
talking
doing?
about.
One
What?
of the Russian attack helicopter.
Oh,
It doesn't matter.
It's a
It's a
Han.
Russian attack helicopter.
it's dead now.
The man sexually identifies as a Russian attack
A
helicopter.
Kamalov Ka-50 is what it was. I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong. I don't know. They look very similar to an Apache. And
probably
I'm
swim
not,
to the
I
surface.
couldn't really see it because there's a camera in my face.
Death Stranding apparently coming out
Is it?
at some point, but it's also going to be showing at E3.
Ooh, looking forward. That's the first time it's going to be at E3 since the
Since
announcement.
the last E3.
No, it wasn't at the last E3.
It wasn't? Are you
Nope.
sure?
Yep. I remember because I remember saying, you know what we didn't get at the C3? Death Stranding, and then it came out.
Right, we saw it at the Sony conference or whatever.
No,
I think it was a Game Awards.
Game Awards.
Because the Sony conference would have been at E3, where it wasn't.
No, Sony has another conference, like at the mid-year mark.
You're right, the Sony wank off.
Yeah,
or whatever.
but Microsoft has one too, so you can do that for Microsoft as well.
Oh, Microsoft.
PSX.
And don't forget Nintendo.
PSX.
Nintendo has a bunch of those. Every year.
Hang on.
Yeah, there you go. Like the little.
Yeah.
So Nintendo's not at E3 officially, right? Like they're just there.
Right?
Yeah, they're not.
I feel
not
like
taking...
nobody's at E3 anymore. They all have their own venues that are like just down the road from.
Yeah,
the
so
actual
let's
E3.
all have our conferences on like a fucking Monday night or whatever the hell, or Thursday night or some shit. Like do it on the weekend, man.
Yeah, no, Sunday night at 4:00 a.m.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Why is this cutscene so low quality?
Because it's console.
No, I wonder if we're going to see actual gameplay from this. I think that's what we're probably going to see.
Yeah, I would assume we're getting actual gameplay.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it so I can actually like judge whether or not I'm going to be interested.
You're not
in this
gonna like
game.
it. You're
Probably
gonna
not, but I'd like to see gameplay first.
Have you liked what you've seen so far? If
I
you've been at all skeptical about what
I
you've
don't
seen
know
so
what the
far,
game
you're
is
gonna
gonna-
hate this fucking game.
It looks interesting, but I don't know what the gameplay is. Like, is it a Telltale game? Is it a
no,
platformer?
it's gonna be like it's probably gonna be like a third person.
It is going to be a third-person shooter. He said...
I don't know if it's gonna be a shooter.
So it's gonna be like
but it's gonna be
Uncharted or
third
something,
person.
isn't it?
He specifically compared it to The Division and The Last of Us, or in the Uncharted game, so it's going to be
Okay.
a third-person shooter.
There you go.
All right. Well, if it's, I don't know. That's a weird. Those are two different games.
Well, what he said is, he says if...
He's probably talking in terms of combat, not in terms of gameplay.
I
style.
should have kept going.
If there's a dinosaur. If people are... if games...
Okay.
Sir, what?
It's a great game, Aaron.
What?
That dude ran in front of us and we just kept going. But anyway, go ahead.
If you compare the game to all games up to this point as being sticks in terms of human evolution, where the first invention, or the spear rather, where the first human invention was the pointed spear.
We talked about this on podcast already.
Yeah, I know. I'm bringing it up again.
Okay.
Because it's relevant. Then this game is going to be the rope. So it's going to be the next evolution of video games. It's just his words.
Well, I like slinging rope, so maybe it'll be a good game.
I'm excited to see what he's got.
I'm excited. It's either going to be the best game ever made, the most important game made in the last 10 years, or it's going to fail spectacularly.
I feel like setting it up for like this is the other wheel or whatever is gonna just you're overselling it already. Whatever it is, you're overselling it.
Yeah, he always oversells it though, but it's always really good at the same time.
Do you know why?
It's always so weird that you're like, I don't even care that it's like it's got glitches or like it doesn't
there's
work as well as it
some bias
should
there.
or it's not finished. You're like, this is just so good that I don't care.
MGS5 is starting to show its age now.
You take that back.
No.
You shut your whore mouth.
That's
Still
good.
a great looking game.
So when I play it, it'll be dated, and I'll complain about it. And Andrew,
Well,
will lambaste me.
you're gonna complain about it anyway.
Yeah, but you're biased, and I'll just see it objectively.
No, you'll see it negatively, like you see everything else, unless it's
That's
Marvel or
objectively.
Star Wars.
I have problems with both of those.
Oh my
things.
god, I will fucking walk out of this podcast. We have another argument about Star Wars. There's like a litany of fucking messages between you two arguing about Star Wars. I'm not doing it again. I will pour beer over that laptop and I'll walk the fuck out of this podcast. Moving on.
Ryan Johnson ruined it. Hey, no segue. No segue.
Go ahead.
We'll leave Battlefield for the end here.
Okay.
We'll end with Battlefield because I think that's the meaty discussion.
All right.
New Matt Groening series coming to Netflix, August 17th.
Who?
Matt Groening?
Isn't you mean the Simpsons guy?
Yeah.
I thought it was pronounced Goring.
No, I don't think so.
It's pronounced macaroni.
Yeah.
It's Matt Groening, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But
Okay.
some people say groaning, so it sounds like you're saying Matt Groening.
Yeah, that's how I heard it pronounced in an interview once. I'm sure Rory's tearing his hair out listening to this.
It's actually Phil.
I'm like 99% sure it's Groening.
I'm pretty sure
It
you're right.
probably is graining. I'm probably
And
incorrect.
Rory's not here, so you are correct.
So
Oh man, you guys got some sweet things. Oh yeah.
Is it Matt Groening or is it like just the animation style?
it is Matt Groening.
Groening
It is,
working
yeah.
on
Oh,
this? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about it's called I forget. It's called Magic, isn't it? It's something simple like that.
No, it's Disenchanted.
Disenchanted, and it's about a Magic is another thing I was reading about today.
The Gathering? This is a Magic the Gathering show?
No, but it is a fantasy-based show where she's an alcoholic princess, and there's an elf
Called
character.
Elfie?
It might be called Elfie.
I'm pretty sure the character's called Elfie.
And she also has a pet shadow demon, and they just kind of go on adventures and stuff. That intrigues me because the last time that they did anything fantasy related, it was Bender or not Bender's Big Score. The Bender, the third Futurama movie.
Yeah.
There were Futurama movies?
Yes.
Yeah, that was season. That
You're
was season
missing
5.
out.
God, what was the name of that movie? There's Bender's Big Score and Beast with a Thousand Backs.
Are they on Netflix?
They used to be. I don't know if they're there anymore.
Fuck you, Macaroni.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. It looks good. He released some images from it today. I didn't even realize he was working on something.
I didn't know that
I thought he was
this
retired.
was a thing, yeah.
Are those
I'm happy
images
he's
from
working
the
on something.
show, or is that just like key art that they made for it?
No, it looks like it's like stills from the show.
Because, yeah, okay. I hope it is, because, you know, there's a lot of, like, shading and lighting and stuff done on the characters. So it looks like more
Bender's
expensive
Bender's
animation.
game, right.
So hopefully that is the
It looks great.
show.
I like the animation style. Hopefully they bring in at least some of the writers from Futurama.
Futurama, especially the first 4 seasons, are my favorite TV show ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
More than Simpsons season 4 through 8?
Yep.
Like, favorite show, period.
Yep. Probably. Like, the only one that could come close would be, like, Star Trek The Next Generation or, like, Justice League Unlimited. Like, these are, like, fucking, I love, because
It's a great game, Aaron.
Is that a picture of a beer?
like, when I was growing up, I wasn't able to watch Simpsons until I was a bit older. So I didn't watch Simpsons until I was in junior high, but I was watching Futurama for some reason. I don't know why I was allowed to watch this. I don't think they knew I was watching Futurama. So I grew up
we got inside anyway.
where other people were watching Simpsons, you know, and grew up with the Simpsons. I grew up with Futurama, so I have a big nostalgic love for it. But I also think that the writing in Futurama is a bit more. There's nothing wrong with, like, the Simpsons is great, especially like those early, you know, when they hit their stride, you know, between, let's say, seasons 2 to 10.
The Conan O'Brien days.
Yeah, was he writing that?
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. But he, you know, I don't. There's just something about Futurama that I find more engrossing and just more like it just gels with me better. It really has shaped my humor. Like, I don't know, like my favorite episode of TV of all time is the episode Godfellas, where Bender becomes God and then meets God. I think that's the cleverest 22 minutes of
22 seconds
of animation and writing that has ever been on a TV show. Just the jokes are on point, and the fucking writing's on point, and the message is on point. It's fucking beautiful. Anyway, so I'm excited for. I'm really excited for the show. Matt Groening
Matt Groening
is a. I'm a big fan of his, even though I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So I'm excited to see him getting a new show. Netflix, hopefully this is going to be good. Although, like with The Simpsons and with Futurama, I bet the first season's going to be rough.
Yeah,
Because
hopefully not too rough that it doesn't get a second season.
yes, it probably. I mean, it's Matt Groening, so people are probably going to give it a chance anyway. But like, people are going to be like, if this is only just slightly good now, wait till the show hits its stride. Because season 1 Futurama was good, but it definitely got better towards the later half of that season when they finally kind of found what they were doing, and not that it changed all that much, but.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then, like,
once the animators and the writing team like get a relationship, they can kind of like figure out what they're trying to make.
Why are you attacking Singapore?
I don't know. Why not? Another city with an F1.
Mister, I hate this game. Doesn't even know a game.
Are we just going around and like blowing up towns that have F1 races?
No, you're trying to stop terrorists.
Oh.
What do you do in any modern day shooter? You're trying to stop terrorists.
Jump out of buildings.
It's pronounced tourist.
So is this just a floating room?
You're protecting America.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, it's a building with no bottom.
Yeah, you're not supposed to jump out of it. It's a great game, Aaron.
Wait, I found the plot hole! Nurse!
Far Cry 5.
Oh man.
DLC.
That was alright.
I didn't ask what you thought because that would be a segue.
Alright, that's fine.
Far Cry 5 DLC coming out
Is that
June, early June. It's the Vietnam game.
Interesting.
The Vietnam setting. It's called Hours of Darkness.
Kind of like Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be more like an hour and a half of darkness.
Oh.
Gotta get that season pass.
There's a couple coming out. There's that one, there's a zombie one, and there's a Martian one.
Yeah. The Martian one looks to be in the vein of Blood Dragon, which is real cool.
Yeah.
This one seems to take a more serious approach, but I hear it's got two settings. It's got survival mode, which is like hardcore, super serious Vietnam setting, whatever. And you've also got action movie mode, which I guess it's like Rambo.
Okay.
Or Predator without Predator.
So I'm guessing the difference between like Rambo and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
There's a you're getting hit a lot, Aaron.
I'm fine.
I will say I'm wondering if it's in the Vietnam War or if it's just like they're just going to Vietnam and shooting.
No,
a bunch of
I
people.
think from the footage I've seen, the trailer was not great, but
there's a trailer.
It gave some insight into what it is. It's definitely Vietnam War.
Okay.
You're getting back the classic M16 and the
M16A1 or M16A. Sorry.
And the SAW or whatever. You're getting classic Vietnam weapons.
That was one of the. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the show, but this is one of the funnier jokes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's like, I didn't go to Vietnam just so that you two could whatever. And he was like, Frank, you went to Vietnam in '94 to open up a sweatshop. Yeah, and a lot of good men died in that sweatshop.
Is there a toggle crouch?
Maybe.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So hopefully it's co-op. Hopefully they carry that stuff over because they made some large strides to make all of Far Cry 5's main story mode or whatever co-op.
Yeah.
Although kind of shittily in some aspects, but
yeah, the tether. I don't like the tether.
I don't like that. Yeah, it's dumb. But anyway,
I'm looking for most of the Martian one. I gotta be honest. So the Vietnam one intrigues me.
Mm-hmm. I always thought Vietnam would be a great setting for one of these games.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is like really good, and it's so good it warrants like a whole new game.
I'll be disappointed
in Vietnam
if we don't get at least if we don't get these songs. I want "Fortunate Son" by Creedence Clearwater. I want
probably get some.
Sympathy for the Devil, and I want All Across the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
We won't get all of them. I'd say we'll get one of those.
You should play Mafia 3, Adam. You want those songs?
Yeah, fair enough.
Mafia
3 had like a fucking awesome soundtrack.
It was pretty good.
That's like
the game itself was questionable, but the soundtrack is pretty good.
That's one of my favorite. Like a lot of my favorite bands and artists and songs came out of that like Vietnam period. It's like Creedence Clearwater.
Really good joke on Family Guy. A recent episode was.
Oh, you still watch Family Guy? No, okay, no.
And that's the joke.
You want to segue while you think of it?
Oh my God! What's his name?
Peter?
No.
Brian?
No.
Quagmire?
Quagmire.
Okay.
How did I forget Quagmire?
It's Quagmire. It's
What's going
Quagmire.
on?
Oh, my brain stopped working.
You a bad guy or not?
Quagmire says the hardest... I guess he reminisces about Vietnam because he was in it. I don't know. I didn't get the context. But he's like, the hardest part was the non-stop onslaught of Fortunate Son. It was just non-stop playing Fortunate Son.
One of the better moments, one of the better episodes of American Dad. I actually think American Dad's way better than Family Guy.
Me too.
American Dad's like the new Simpsons in terms of like what it's doing and like kind of like the its humor
It's not
style.
not as funny as The Simpsons, but yes,
It's funnier than The Simpsons is now.
okay, yeah.
The Simpson.
Is Stan is trying to the dad is trying to toughen his son up. So he says, we're gonna take place in a war reenactment, and he's like, oh boy. And Steve gets in his Civil War Union outfit that he has. He's like, what? He's like, Steve, what are you doing in that? He's like, aren't we doing a Civil War reenactment? He's like, no, not the Civil War, the Vietnam War. And they've completely taken over this golf course. There's people running around spraying people with flamethrowers and shooting each other with M16s and stuff. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us 2 has been delayed until next year.
Oh. I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, neither did I, but apparently it was announced before.
Oh, okay.
I heard
I need to finish that.
You really do.
I've heard it's the best of the Telltale games.
I would rank it up there, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I heard
up
the Batman
there.
one was also pretty good.
Batman is great.
I think the Borderlands one was really well written. I haven't finished it yet, but
I didn't finish
I really like
Borderlands.
the Borderlands one, but you will not like it if you don't like Borderlands. Obviously.
Yeah, I had issues with Borderlands, so
it's kind of unrelated to a lot of the stuff in Borderlands. It just happens to take place in Borderlands.
yeah. I don't really like the humor in Borderlands that much. It's just
Fair
not
enough.
that funny, but you know, whatever. That's my thing.
You know what I've been playing the shit out of lately?
What?
I've been playing the shit out of Rayman Legends because that's free on PS Plus right now. You should pick it up. It's not going to be free for much longer, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not quite as good as Rayman Origins, but it's still really good. It's probably my favorite, aside from Donkey Kong Country 2, is my favorite platformer I've ever played. Jesus Christ!
You some kind of Donkey Kong fan?
I like Donkey Kong.
I have the ankles of a 97-year-old man.
Can you unlock this door before everyone is dead?
So that's the podcast. Oh wait, no one's not. Let's shit on Battlefield. Aaron,
Cool.
actually no segues, but
I'm out of
non-segue like. Have you seen the new trailer for Battlefield
ammo. Nope.
5?
Didn't even know it was a thing.
Uh,
I mean, I knew 5 was announced. I didn't know there was a trailer.
Of course, the black guy knows how to pick a lock.
He's not black.
That's
kinda-
Irish, isn't it?
No, ours down here, I think.
I kind of feel like you should watch it, Aaron.
Oh,
That's Don Cheadle.
It's
Is it
not
Don Cheadle?
No, it's not Don Cheadle. That's racist.
I don't know what he sounds like. I couldn't remember if he was Don Cheadle or not.
You could look at him and see he's not Don Cheadle.
I didn't see what he looked like. Aaron
not
showed his
racist.
face like 2
You
seconds.
played the game.
That's not
Yeah,
racist.
but, like,
You played the game enough to hate it.
Yeah, for like 3 years ago.
Irish ain't Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle's like 87 years old. He's like a skeleton man.
What's racist is the friggin' god tier superhero Vision accidentally shooting War Machine.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Yeah.
What did
Well,
he shoot
he's-
War Machine? And
He's dead now. He died twice.
For
in that
some
movie.
reason, for some reason, my aiming seems to target both Black Panther,
Yeah.
War Machine, and Falcon. For some reason, it's hard to explain.
They killed Vision twice because Disney's like, take that, you straight white man.
He gets his comeuppance
Yeah,
because
killed
he's
him twice.
racist.
Fuck that guy.
That's the real Avenger. Come on!
Aaron, I kind of feel like, and I'm sorry if this is a huge pain in the ass, but you should bring up the trailer and we'll watch it
Right now?
right now. You kind of have to watch this trailer.
We'll get
Jesus.
demonetized.
You kind of have to watch this
No, we
trailer
won't.
to know what we're talking
I
about.
don't know if this is gonna work, but we'll see.
Skip.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Battlefield. Yeah, you
Five
can see we
trailer. tried
tried to play Battlefield 1942 and I tried to troubleshoot it.
I like the idea that he
Battlefield
types
5
in
trailer.
B and it just comes up like Brazzers and like a bunch of.
Ah man, you gotta incognito that shit.
Black butt sex.
Did I ever tell you about the time that a guy came in the future shop and he's like, I don't know what's wrong with
Is this
you know,
it?
my computer.
Yeah.
Stop with the annotations, people.
Anyway,
If I go full screen with it, I think
We had a
it'll,
few of those at my job too. Like, I don't know what's going on with my computer. Open it up is like nothing but porn. A billion tabs open with porn.
all right, okay. So immediately this screams World War II to me. Except we have this woman here who has some sort of face paint on and a robot hand, I think.
It's prosthetic arm.
Oh, is it prosthetic? Okay, I can't see because there's so much going on. That guy dies, I guess, being dragged away by something. Why didn't he help him?
So is this like alternate World War II or some shit?
We'll get into that, but no.
So
apparently DICE is striving for authentic World War II combat and all that whatnot. And, but what
battle is this?
This is, Adam, this is everyone's battlefield. Hashtag everyone's battlefield. And if you don't like it, you're a sexist racist.
Because I'm pretty sure there was a Messerschmitt 220, one of the Messerschmitts that just flew overhead. That's definitely one that crashed there. That's a Messerschmitt 223.
Don't be
racist. He was
racist.
white and everything.
It's racist.
Also, he gets out and he just go shoot him. They're not. I don't. Who are we fighting here? Why are you shooting? Like, okay, in this part here,
there's 4 people playing. So
he loads the gun. Fair enough. He goes up here, and he starts. Okay,
this is authentic World War II combat. Watch what happens. This actually happened in World War II right here. See that? Throws a grenade, shoots it, blows up a plane.
Okay.
That actually happened.
No, that was crashing anyway. He's like, oh, I totally shot that plane, guys. Did you see? Shut up, Daryl.
That actually happened. In fact, it was done by a squad of nothing but female soldiers in World War II. Did you not hear about that?
That was a V2 rocket, I think.
It was actually it wasn't, because in this one it was guided.
Black transgender
as you know,
females
in World War II, the missiles had...
Who is this?
Captain Price.
The missiles had guidance systems.
Looks like fucking Kane from Command and Conquer.
Oh man, she's Scottish or something.
Where? So is that supposed to be Operation Market Garden?
Yes.
In Holland?
You didn't recognize the guided missiles and the squadron of female soldiers?
No.
From authentic World War II combat?
I mean, there were female, people, women active in World War II, but they tended to work for the French resistance. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think any of them had active combat duty. So, which is fine if you're just going for like a bonkers out of control World War II story. But if you're going for an ultra-realistic World War II story, then I'm sorry, but, you're probably not going to be able to have women in an active combat role in your story. You can still have women. Women were still part of World War II, just not in active combat.
Yeah, just have a level
where... In fact, there's very few armies that have women in active combat now. I think Israel is one of the only ones.
Have a level where you're making bombs and stuff, and then cut back to the action where you play as a white dude.
I'm being facetious. I think that's the proper term. If it's not,
you're like a bomb factory or whatever, making missiles.
Oh, I think you were talking about like a Jew in like.
You know how you could fix that?
Because Jews were used to make munitions and before they were killed at the gas
chambers.
That's
racist.
So yes, it is. It's the whole point of the Holocaust.
You can't do that in 2018, Adam. World War II is racist.
It is. As you can probably guess, there's been some backlash against this. DICE has come out and said female soldiers are here to stay.
That's fine.
What do I need
You're
to
racist if you don't like it.
Well, that's fine, but you can't have female
don't tell them what they can't do. It's everyone's battlefield. Hashtag everyone's battlefield.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm fine with having women in games, in these kind of games, but you can't have a woman in a World War II game fighting in an American unit.
Say can't.
And have it be a realistic, an ultra-realistic game, which is fine.
Who's to say
because there's been so many realistic...
A white man?
Well, I suppose if that's what I am, but I mean history mainly, and I'm just kind of reciting from history here.
How do you know history? Did you live it? What about the powerful women that lived it?
Yeah, there were many powerful women at the time, but none of them were active. People active in combat.
Spoken like a true garbage human.
What I'm saying is that there is a... Oh, you had to wait for Wingus and Dingus to show up. What I'm saying is you can have these sorts of things in a game, and I'm all for that, because that game kind of looks...
What if
Let me fucking finish!
I'm totally agreeing with you. What if DICE came out, and instead of being like, this is authentic World War II combat, they were like, this is alternate history, a diesel punk war.
This is Wolfenstein.
Fantasy. Sure. Whatever.
Not Wolfenstein, but that kind of thing. That's fine. I wouldn't mind.
It would be great.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And it's like super customizable characters, which they're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like this whole thing about the female soldiers are here to stay. And we want this is hashtag everyone's
Is
battlefield.
that actually like the marketing for it?
Yes. It rings real hollow when they've got when a big thing they've come out and said and talked about is microtransactions for cosmetic items. Which is designed for customizing your character.
That's I don't care. Like,
you know,
I'm fine with the women being in the game as long as it's not being portrayed as a realistic thing. But like, who's this guy? But
it's
George Bush.
President.
Mr. President, you need to come with me right away. Damn, son, it's
Where
good
the
to be
fuck
American.
did he come from?
I'm
a white guy.
With a gun.
Don't worry, I'm white.
We're gonna have some trouble with Irish, though. I'm just saying. Oh no, my gun went off.
Too
The
bad he's not
president's
actually
like,
Irish.
I think there's a spy.
The president's super. Is Trump? He starts building a wall out of suitcases he found in the hall.
Commander, are you sure that we can trust all your men?
Yeah, so I fought
I
alongside.
got some funny feelings
okay.
about one of them in particular.
I fought alongside Irish for years. He's one of the best soldiers I've ever dealt with. He's honorable. He's trustworthy. I would trust him with my life.
I'm not talking about the Irishman. I'm talking about the black one.
Sir, I think it might be racist. It's hard to be racist when they're worse than me in every single way.
Well, have you ever been
Why
shot
are we
at when
saving
he's
you
not
again?
around?
Because I'm the president, son. How did you get elected?
What were you saying?
So what I was saying is, I think that, you know, again, like I would prefer, because frankly, I'm sick of realistic World War II shooters. Because like
Especially when they're not
I can
realistic.
name 20 of them.
Sure.
And I still it'd be
Call of Duty came out last year.
Yeah, and stop jumping out of buildings. So when you're dealing with these kind of it'd be nice to see like an alternate history kind of like, oh, Nazis got super weapons and they're like gorillas, mecha gorillas and like
that game
brains
exists,
and
though.
jars and stuff.
That's
like
just Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but it would be nice to get another.
I would rather like a full up fantasy diesel punk set.
Why can't I
That'd
be a
be cool,
wolf dick in
too.
Wolfenstein?
What?
I want to be a wolf dick in Wolfenstein. I
Then-
want to have big old mech wolf dick.
But if the whole point of your game is to be like, and you can play this game your way and be the soldier you want to be,
It's hashtag everyone's battlefield.
hashtag everyone's battlefield. Don't have hashtag everyone's battlefield and put up a big fuck off paywall between you and your battlefield. Aside from the normal $70, $80 it takes to buy your cocksucking
I feel
game.
like them coming out and saying this is authentic is incredibly disrespectful to, people that actually fought there.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if you did. There's also like a black guy that jumps out of the window and he has a katana.
Does he?
Yes, that was stupid as well. That was
Where did he get that to?
Man, he's going Super Saiyan out that window.
So, can I just talk about... So, beside all the controversy, that really wasn't a very good trailer at all anyway.
No, it was
because
poorly shot.
It devolves into gameplay for 2 seconds.
Well, isn't
incredibly
that, like,
scripted
gameplay.
gameplay. Yeah.
Fucking
But, like,
Seven Nation
stuff
Army or
is
whatever.
going on everywhere. I'm like, well, hang on, who's that? Where we go? Who's that guy? He just got stabbed and dragged off screen. You're just shooting out the window. You're not going to help your buddy who just got dragged away? And now there's a tank. We're flying out a window. Planes are crashing. Stop. Hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
Why do people market shit as authentic? Because most of the time when something is authentic or a simulator, people don't give a fuck about it.
No. Like,
And a
what
huge
was that
argument-
awful game that came out a couple of weeks ago? Fucking Kingdom Come Deliverance? That was awful. And it was a simulator.
A couple of weeks ago.
That wasn't awful.
And it wasn't
It
awful,
was.
it was
It
amazing.
was great.
Oh,
that
man,
was-
I
Did you
love
play
dying
it?
of dysentery in the fucking middle. No,
Did you play it?
I'm sure it's great. It's
Stop being
10
facetious.
10
That's the word of the night. I'm just going to use it. I don't know what it
10 out of 10.
means.
Stop countering
It's-
our argument.
To be fair, I haven't played it, but it's not my type of game anyway.
Okay.
No, but see, that's something that's relatively authentic.
Yes.
You don't cut out the boring bits when something is authentic.
Well, I mean, if you want to have an authentic World War II shooter, a really authentic World War II shooter, there's going to be a lot of time waiting around,
Yeah.
as in any war.
Yes. Have all that stuff.
Yeah.
Leave it all in. Have it be open world
And
and
that
have
would
it
be
all
really
in.
cool.
And then
But
you
they're
get
not
to
gonna
like
do that.
build relationships with all the soldiers, and then
And when
when they
I
die
don't
in
feel,
war, you feel bad.
I don't feel like that fits in what a Battlefield game is now.
No, not Battlefield, but if you
No.
want a World War II game, that would be awesome. Because then you get like to
Brothers in Arms.
Yeah,
Bring that
well,
back.
yeah.
Don't worry, son, I can fly
Close
this
to that.
chopper. Rise for America.
Yeah.
Oh man, the guy who was already hurt died. Better shoot him more. What did you get out of the helicopter for?
He got shot.
Oh. Okay, bye. Yeah, leave all that stuff in it because it'd be cool. Because then you'd want to watch out for your buddies, you know?
Yeah.
If they got hurt in war, you'd be like, oh fuck, not Jim. He was the best.
Jim told jokes and made really good soup.
Yeah.
Now who's gonna make us soup?
I got
I feel like with Daryl.
I feel like Brothers in Arms
shitty-ass
is
beans.
prime for a comeback. And
What's that?
Brothers in Arms.
I think it'll be Sisters in Arms now.
It'll be like People in Arms or some nonsense.
Take out the men, replace with women. Take out the World War II setting, replace with like modern day thing. Take out the guns, replace with a pair of pants that fits everybody, and boom, you got yourself an award-winning movie there.
Yeah.
The sister of the traveling pants.
With modern gearbox, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That being said, if I can say one good thing about the game, it looks half decent in terms of the fidelity.
Visually, it looks really good.
But I mean, that's
the
DICE.
saturation is a little much, but yeah.
It's probably just the
looks
trailer.
a little like cartoony, but yeah.
It's a little too colorful. I agree.
And we're bashing like the whole like diversity thing, but we're really not.
No,
like diversity is great, and the message behind it is wonderful, but not in this World War II game. Don't make
not
it
in an authentic World War II
Don't make
game.
it an authentic World War II game, because
that's
as
my
soon as
only
you start
hang-up.
putting all this stuff in my mind, you are doing a disservice to veterans. You're like, it's
it's the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance thing all over again, where people are like, I can't play as a black person in this game. No, not in this game, because it's supposed to be as accurate to the time as possible.
Yes.
And there wasn't very many black people in this part of the world at that time. In fact, there was probably none.
We hired multiple historians that confirmed that even if there was a black person in this country, it makes no sense to put black people in this game.
But
But
it would be. But if it was a game like The Witcher or you know, Skyrim, or
people got mad at The Witcher for not having black people in it, even though there are black people in it.
Yeah, and like, or like, you know, like
I played this game for 9 seconds and I didn't see any black people.
Dragon's Age, any of these games, you know, a fantasy setting, then you have no excuse, because you can have as many, you know, you can have whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, because it's a fantasy setting. But if you're going for an ultra realistic thing, that'd be
unless it's like this militarized push for diversity and you're just ticking boxes. In that case, it's bad.
Yeah, I would say, you know, like, because like I have a setting for my own D&D campaigns, and you can be whatever, you know. There's obviously different races
as you
human,
want.
and there's also the different like races. And the way I look at it is, the reason I'm including all of these races is not because I'm taking boxes in order to appease people. It's because different people want to play different types of characters.
Give people options.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
But if I'm doing a game set taking place in like 13th century Japan, and all of a sudden fucking Native Americans come out of nowhere and start beating people up, I'm like, where the hell are these people coming from?
Yeah, you need if you got that setting and you've got the token Native American character that you need, and like there's no defining feature about this character other than the fact that he's Native American, that's bad. That's an example of bad diversity.
Man, that guy's got a really good arm. Who's ever chucking those flashbangs? Also, they don't last very long. They might want to consider getting better ones. Because, like, from my understanding of flashbangs, when you get hit with one of those, you're kind of down for the next 10 minutes.
Adam, this is authentic.
I hope we didn't come off as too dismissive of.
No, I don't think that's the message.
Being open to other people, but like it's easy to look at that trailer and see. And with the context of the microtransactions,
as a cash,
it just rings so fucking hollow.
It does ring really hollow. That would be.
It comes off as them just lying to us. It's like they're here to stay, and if you don't like it, it's too bad.
It would be better. I think it would be less egregious if the trailer was less egregious. If we got in the better trailer, because the trailer's not great anyway. Like,
no.
if this was a totally, like, it was just like white men or all black men, because they had no mixed units back then, fighting, and
it's like melting.
But it was the same situation, the exact same scripting, but it was just all black men or white men or whatever. It would still be awful, because
I feel like it's misleading, because I don't know who sent the video couple weeks back or whatever, but it had to do with like why DC sucks.
Yeah, that was me.
And it's the same thing here, where like his argument was the reason DC sucks
It's,
is that
Cosmonaut Variety Hour.
yeah,
is the name of the channel.
that he explains that they establish characters in the movie universe in a different way than they've been established in the comics. So you kind of get a false perception of what that character is and what their dynamic is. Because if you have a history with the comics, then you understand the changes. But if you don't, and you're just watching the movies, then you're being misled. You don't know this character. They're different. They're being manipulated different. So this is kind of misleading to somebody who maybe doesn't know a lot about World War II. Like kids are getting into history and learning about stuff. All of this stuff, if you're going to market it as authentic, this is wrong.
It starts getting into some weird revisionist territory
Yeah.
at that point.
And that's like what we were doing with, or what they were doing with Assassin's Creed Origin with that education thing, where they were wanting to take out references to like slavery and stuff. I'm like,
and they censored all the statue nudity.
yeah, and they were like, you know, we're taking out any, like, we're showing women in classrooms in this, even though women weren't in classrooms. Like, why are you doing that? If you're gonna change history to the point where, like, oh yes, women have always been equal to men in terms of how society views them.
They absolutely ain't.
They haven't, and erasing that from history is awful.
It undermines the evolution of that dynamic and why things have changed to the way they are,
and why things are better now, and it undercuts the struggle that many women went through in the 20s and the 40s and the 60s, and now trying to get trying to get better rights and trying to to better how society sees them, certain segments of society. If always like, well, you know, why is this a big deal now? It never used to be. Women used to be treated equal.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. Women were treated pretty awfully throughout most of history by most societies. Even
a lot of them still are treated awful.
Yep. And trying to washing away slavery.
Yeah.
Slavery happened. Slavery was a really bad thing that happened.
Yeah,
we
I
can't
feel like
forget about it, because forgetting about it means that we'll probably repeat it at some point.
And as white
Doors
men,
to the
if we don't
left.
constantly talk about it, we're liable to just slide
Yeah,
back into owning slaves.
That's not what I mean, but not.
I think it is, Adam.
The point I'm trying to get.
I mean, no, you're absolutely
I'm
right.
surprised that this is going this way, because I feel like doing what people are doing and like rewriting history and making everything all inclusive is almost whitewashing history. To be like, white people were never evil. What are you talking about? Look at all these historical things where everybody was included.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how it
Remember
happened.
when Christopher Columbus found then a bunch of Native Americans and they were like, "Hey," and they had a big pizza party?
Yeah.
So like if you want to,
He absolutely didn't commit
Genocide.
some of the worst example of genocide ever.
Like, again, like, I know the Native Americans were treated pretty poorly by European colonists, but he definitely set the bar pretty fucking low.
if something is too violent or like exclusive for you to teach in a school, then don't do it. Don't change it to make it more appropriate. That's retarded.
Yeah. Well,
then you're just teaching
what,
kids
you know,
wrong
I mean, there's
information.
different books have been banned from schools for different reasons, but they recently, in one of the states, I think it was like Mississippi or Alabama, they recently banned To Kill a Mockingbird. That's very shiny ground.
Water.
Oh. Sorry. I thought it was a mirrored surface.
Some kind of liquid earth.
I thought it was
Why did they
texture
ban To
fucking
Kill a
up.
Mockingbird?
Because they thought
the
it was,
white guy stands up for a black guy. And
well, they said the whole conversation about you know how their society was treating black people. They said it was too uncomfortable. I'm like, that's the point of the book. Is because it was an uncomfortable truth that they had to deal with in their society. And in fact, Ghost of the Watchmen, the sequel, was even more about that. So
planet is
banning
gay.
these books as being like we're doing exactly. It'd be like All right. It'd be like banning a book about. It'd be like saying we gotta ban the book, 1980 or Fahrenheit 451 because the idea of banning books
You're gonna
is
burn
too,
your fries at that temperature.
is too. The idea of burning books and banning books and banning knowledge is too important in our society. We can't promote this to kids. That's why we're banning this book.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if people start holding up 451 as like this shining example of how things should be run.
I don't know about. Well, we're not.
And start burning all the
We're not
books
that,
like
we're not nearly that far
To Kill a
yet, but it
Mockingbird?
maybe in the
It's
future.
gonna be Spain all over again.
And Tank.
quick thought. What if
Oh, by the way, Aaron, Just run up to it.
Oh, does that get rid of it?
No, just stay here. It can't hit you.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Like, not on top of it, but like... Yeah, there you go.
Sick.
Sir, he's defeated us! Oh my god!
What if that trailer ended and it wasn't called Battlefield 5? It was called Battlefield Bad Company 3.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't get
that'd
why
be
it's
awesome.
called 5 either. Because there was 1942. Oh,
We
I guess
had this
1940.
discussion last
I know,
podcast.
but I guess 1943 is out of order. But
Yeah.
5 is
1944.
call it like
So
Battlefield.
it went 42. It went 42 Vietnam, 21
42.
21 42.
2.
2 3 Bad Company. So sorry, 2 Bad Company 3 Bad Company 2
4
4
1.
Hardline. No Hardlines.
Oh, right.
1
Oh.
5.
Yeah.
The fuck kind of sense
Not
does that
V.
make?
Battlefield V. V for Battlefield.
Yeah.
That's what it's called
Also,
now.
I love how you completely flummoxed that tank by standing on top of it.
Although, maybe this will be kind of like Metal Gear Solid
God, this
V.
game sucks.
It'll be kind of like Metal Gear Solid V,
Boink.
where it's not 5, it's
Boink.
V, as in maybe the V stands for something in the game. Who knows? I doubt it.
Are you in there?
Okay.
Gotcha, asshole.
Yeah, if you stand here, it can't hit you.
Anyway, that's that. I have to pee. So, thank you for joining us on this very special episode.
Shoot.
On this very special episode of the Pixel Junkies podcast.
I can't
Please
shoot
join
my
us
thing
next week when we continue the battle against...
Well, we're gonna go see Solo tomorrow. We'll talk about that next
Oh
week.
yeah, that's tomorrow.
So
Forgot about that.
We're going to watch that, and we'll talk about that all podcast next week.
You got it.
Bye.
See you
Remember
next
when they
time.
made? Remember when they were like, you can go see Solo, but you have to buy costumes for all the characters in the movie. So then they cost $1 each. So if you don't want to see Emilia Clarke,
This
running around,
guy's in
you have
half.
to spend $1, and everyone's like,
Right.
I'm gonna keep that right in my pocket.
Yeah,
I've already seen her boobs, so that's fine.
that's pretty sexist of you.
Everyone's seen her boobs.
You got it. Yeah, I know. Everybody's seen them.
The fact that you watched a show where it objectified her
That
is
was
pretty sexist.
That was fucking funny, is what that was. Aaron, I don't think you meant that. He went to run upstairs again. He just fell.
I was
down
like, I'll run up the
fucking
next
hall.
flight of stairs, and there isn't one. Anyway, whatever. See you next time.
Bye. No, wait!